And welcome back. And now we're along with Tim Shaw, the Executive Director of the Bootheel Area Independent Living Services Organization. And you're based out of Kennett, is that right, Tim?
We are based out of Kennett. We serve 4 counties, Dunklin County, Pembroke County, New Madrid, and Stoddard County.
Okay, 4 counties here in the Bootheel. And first of all, just give us an overview of what B.A.I.L.S is and what it provides.
Well, the first independent living center started in California in the 70s. So it's a history of the independent living movement that's made these centers. We're one of 22 centers in the state and about 500 around the country. The focus of the center is to break down barriers for people with disabilities, to make sure that they get to have a full life regardless of the level of their disability.
Okay. And you're a nonprofit organization?
Completely not-for-profit. We receive funding from the federal government through vocational rehabilitation. That's what helped get us started 13, 14 years ago. And since then, we've been able to diversify our funding, get funding from a lot of different sources, including fundraisers, to help with this effort.
Okay, and let's get a little specific about what you do provide. And there are many services here that we have here that you provide. Just go into detail of what people may take advantage of.
Sure. The main thing to know about these services is there's no charge for any of them. We have transportation, which is a nominal fee. It's less than cab fare, but there's no fee to anyone for these services if they qualify under certain income guidelines. But we have programs for people of all income levels and all levels of disability. Information referral is the 4 core services are information referral, advocacy, skills training, and peer counseling. And these are what the center started on. Information referral is sort of a nebulous activity where if we don't provide the services, we'll try to find someone who does out in the community and refer the consumer that's calling us to them. Advocacy is going to bat for consumers, whether it's going to bat with your landlord or going to bat with the legislators to try to show them what the effect of their legislation, their proposed legislation is going to be. Skills training, when someone's newly disabled or struggling, they may need help to gain the skills to be independent and be in their own home. That's what this whole program's about, to give people a choice of where they want to live rather than being forced into a more restrictive setting like a nursing home or assisted living. Peer counseling, often when someone's newly disabled, they experience an emotional wave where they need someone who's been through that situation before and can help them in that way by being a peer-to-peer and give them some counseling. Those are the 4 core services. We also have added on the rest of the services since that time. Home modification, so many times when someone's disabled, they don't have their home set up to where they can get in and out of it, where they can be independent within it. So whether it's a ramp in the front door, widening a doorway for a wheelchair, or even just as simple as a grab bar in the shower where they can get themselves in and out to bathe without assistance. We try to help them do that one way or another. If they're low income, we actually supply the materials or the labor to help them do that. That way it's a 50-50 thing. It's not a handout, but they participate in their own independence. Community awareness is what I'm doing right now, getting out here and telling people that we are not a bail bonds company. We are here to assist people with disabilities. Equipment loan program, if someone doesn't qualify for equipment either under Medicare or Medicaid, which we can help them get those from other sources as well, we're lucky enough to have a closet of equipment those companies have donated to us that we can loan out until someone can receive that equipment themselves. Transportation. Here in the Bootheel, there's a lack of available, accessible transportation for people with disabilities especially. While we can't fulfill the need as great as it is, whereas in the metropolitan areas you can roll down the corner and get on a bus anywhere you want. Here it's a little more difficult. We try to fill that gap with transportation. There is a nominal fee, it's less than cab fare to offset some of our expenses, but we try to do what we can to fill that need. Disability awareness, we go into classrooms with 3rd and 4th graders and try to explain to them, hey, someone with a disability is not someone to be scared of or someone to be confused about. It could happen to any of us at any time. A car wreck, a bicycle wreck. People with disabilities are just people. We have a resource library with lots of information about disability rights, how to cope with a disability that people could come down and access, including internet access with accessible computers for people who may have trouble with that. The next 2 services are consumer-directed services and in-home services. Both of those are personal care and home care for people who want to stay in their home but can't quite maintain those services themselves. Medicaid will pay for those services. Veterans will pay for those services. And some people, if they're in a different economic situation, just pay out of pocket, because the people we send in for those services have background checks, are well trained, and know what they're doing. They're also closely monitored to provide those services in the right way. Assistive technology is a program where people who have difficulty, whether it's accessing the internet or simple as not being able to hear on their telephone because of a ear injury or just general hearing loss, and a lot of older folks need that to be able to communicate with the world. For that, the eligibility is really broad. You can make up to $60,000 a year and still qualify for that program. It's paid for by small charges on phone bills around the state, and someone can get an amplified telephone and be able to reopen their access to the world through that.
Okay, so many services provided by B.A.I.L.S, and you're based out of Kennett. So if someone lives in these other counties, of course, Kennett's and Dunklin County, if they're in Pembescott, Stoddard, New Madrid, how can they get in touch with B.A.I.L.S or seek any services?
The easiest way is to just call our toll-free number. It's 1-888-449-0949, and just call and try to explain. And we'll set you up with someone who listen to you and try to find out what kind of difficulty you're having, and start about making sure that you can be independent in your own home.
Okay, that just seems like the mission that you all have is trying to get people to provide for themselves independently and give them those services to obtain that quality of life.
That's right. It's all about empowerment.
Of course. All right. And anything else you'd like to share about B.A.I.L.S or anything else?
If someone, again, just to reiterate this, we gave a lot of information here all at once. If you know someone who's having a difficulty, who has a disability, if they'll just call us, we'll do our best we can to help them.
Okay. All right. Well, that's Tim Shaw, the Executive Director of the Bootheel Area Independent Living Services Organization, known as B.A.I.L.S. Right there in Kennett. We provided you the toll-free number to call. That's 1-888-449-0949. So give them a call for yourself or anyone you may know that could seek these services, and they'll do the best to help you. So, Tim, thanks for coming on today.
Thank you.
And you're welcome back anytime.
Get the word out.
Sure, you're welcome back anytime to tell us what's going on.
Great.
All right. And don't go away.